Hey, what's happening, you guys? This is Coach Joel. If you're tuning in on the Total Body Blueprint, welcome. You're tuning in live, and we're going to be diving in today about the victim mentality. But before we get started, there's a few things I want to say. One, if you're out there and you're struggling in listen to me, any area of your life, whether that is physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, nutritionally, that is what I do. I help people live in healthier bodies by creating happier lives. It starts truly, you guys, with the way that we're living our lives. When we establish a better way of living, both internally, and externally, that's where the combo comes together, and that's where we see some huge change. So I work with people on being able to untie the false narratives that we have connected to that keep us from finding that perfect body that we want, from being in that perfect relationship that we want, from living the life that we truly want. I tie that in with the different fitness aspects and nutritional aspects to be able to get to a point where you're living your best life in your best body. So if you're interested, let me know. Shoot me a message on Instagram. Reach out to me, joel@iconfitness.com, and let me know. I'm here to help. And talking about help, we're going to dive into the victim mentality today. Maybe you've heard of the victim mentality. Maybe you haven't heard of the victim mentality, but we're going to get real nitty gritty here. Some of us are like, oh, yeah. People that feel bad for themselves, that they act like victims all the time. Be careful on who you're saying they, right? Because remember, anytime that you're pointing one finger at somebody else, there's 3 other fingers pointing back at you. Remember that. We all have some victim mentality in us, and it's actually a lot more consistent than you think. You may think that you don't have a victim mentality, but trust me, it's there. It's there. And so what we're going to do today is first, we're going to recognize what is the victim mentality. Then we're going to go through how it is created and how we will be able to unwind it. This is valuable stuff, you guys. If you are listening right now, take your time to take some notes. Take some time to re-listen to this podcast, because getting out of the victim mentality is the greatest thing that you can possibly do for yourself. And we're going to go through it. So let's dive in. Let's dive in. We got some people on Instagram. We got some people on the Facebook page. We're going to get into this. So let's go. What is the victim mentality? Let's break it down by the exact definition. And I'm going to read this twice. And there's a reason, and I'll tell you why. Let's break down the victim mentality. The victim mentality, this is where you would write something down. This would be the time. You can pause it, right, if you're listening to the podcast right now. If not, you're going to get it twice. The victim mentality is an acquired personality trait where a person tends to regard themselves as a victim of the negative actions of others, even in the absence of clear evidence. The victim mentality depends on a habitual thought process and attributions. I'm going to read it to you one more time. Listen. The victim mentality is an acquired personality trait where a person tends to regard themselves as a victim of the negative actions of others, even in the absence of clear evidence. The victim mentality depends on a habitual thought process and attribution. Why did I repeat this? Because repetition is the mother of all skills. That is a quote from my good friend Mark England, and it is something that I have held on to. Let's break down this real quick. Take a look. The victim mentality is acquired personality trait. You have to acquire it. You're not born with it. You literally have to acquire this. You choose to acquire this personality trait. And this is how it continues. Where a person a tendency to do it again and again, to regard themselves as a victim of the negative actions of others. So you're regarding yourself as a victim of the negative actions of others. But here's the kicker. Even in the absence of clear evidence. So even though there isn't clear evidence that there's this victim, we still place ourselves in there. We regard ourselves as a victim. So we acquire this personality trait because we regard ourselves as a victim, even though there is absence of clear evidence. And then this is the kicker. The victim mentality depends. Did you get that? Depends. That means it doesn't survive without it. On a habitual thought process and attributions. A habitual. You must do it time and time again. And what did I tell you earlier? Repetition is the mother of all skills. For the good and for the bad. For the good and for the bad, repetition is the mother of all skills. When you rep out a thought, a negative thought, over and over and over and over and over again, what is going to be the result? Negative thoughts. That person did bad to me. 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 Yep. You're not going to see it any other way. But here's the thing, guys. Key in on this because I'm going to come back to it multiple times. Our direction determines our destination. Our direction determines our destination. Therefore, if I'm directing myself to the left and I continue for miles, I'll end up drastically different than if I started off my direction just slightly to the right. There's a huge expansion that ends up happening as we extrapolate it. So just a teeny little turn could end up hundreds of miles away when we extrapolate it over a long distance. AKA, if you start off with a little negative thought, you put yourself in a victim mindset, then you extrapolate that, I don't know, maybe 20 years. Think how far off that you will be. In the slight difference of being able to go, actually, in the clear evidence that I'm really not a victim and I put myself in a place of power, now all of a sudden my destination extrapolated 20 years is completely different. So how is the victim mentality created? I'm not just here to talk about, hey, what's the definition, how we regard ourselves as a victim even without clear evidence, so on and so forth. How do we actually create it? There's 3 different ways that it's created. You're gonna want to write this down. Pull out your phone, take a mental note. The first one, negations. The second is projections, and the third is soft language. The 3 different ways to get to the victim mentality is through negations, projections, and soft language. We're going to dive into each one right now. Right now. Let's talk about negations. What is negations? And you guys, if you apply this, this will change your life. I am telling you right now. If you apply this, this will change your life. Great. I'm glad I covered that. Negations. What is negations? To speak about what wasn't, what isn't, and what won't be. Okay? Past, present, and future. Negations, negation type of words are can't, won't, don't, shouldn't, wouldn't, isn't, hasn't, never. These are negation words. And negation words takes us to a place we do not want to be. Type of words that we'll hear, or sentence that you might hear. I can't do it. You might say stuff about what didn't happen, what they shouldn't have said, how my dad or mom wasn't there for me, past, present, future. They weren't there for me. I can't do that. I'll never be able to be as. Remember direction and destination? If my direction is, I don't want to miss this opportunity. I don't want to mess up this opportunity. I shouldn't mess this opportunity up. This would be a bad idea to mess up this opportunity. What are we looking at? What do you see right now? If I told you to close your eyes, you're going in for a job interview. It's the job you want. And you say to yourself, I hope I don't mess up this opportunity. Do you see yourself as in an empowered position? Or do you see yourself as a sweaty mess? Nervous, saying the wrong things? Direction. I don't want to mess this up. Don't. Negation. I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to mess up this opportunity. Check this out. I do want to overachieve and seize this opportunity. What do you see now? I don't want to miss this opportunity. Sweaty mess, messing up on our words. I do want to overachieve and seize this opportunity. How do you see that person acting? One direction equals the destination of sweaty and stumbling. The other direction equals the destination of strength and empowerment. I do want to overachieve and seize this opportunity. We want to fire it up even a little more. I will overachieve and seize this opportunity. Feels even stronger, right? We can even make it even better. I am an overachiever and I always seize the opportunity. How strong does that person look? I don't want to miss this opportunity. I am an overachiever who always seizes the opportunity. There's a big difference there, guys. Which one feels like a victim? Which one feels like a victor? Negations. Step 1. Start thinking about what you do want, not negation acknowledged, what you don't want. I told you guys, it's going to change your life. Anybody that's in right now, listening on Instagram, anybody on Facebook right now, tuning in, you are going to change your life through this few couple steps. That's it. Few couple steps. Let's move to the next one. This is where it gets real spicy. I might lose a couple people just right here. That's okay. That's okay. Because I'm here to help you if you're willing to step into. The next one is projections, right? We just covered negations. Now we're going to talk about projections. What is projections? Projections is to blame someone or something outside of yourself for what you are thinking and feeling. Here's your inner circle. Anytime you step outside of that inner circle, right? And if you ask me what's in my inner circle, it's me and God. That's it. It is God and myself, because nobody else can we control. We can't control our kids, our wives, our family, our bosses, or anyone else. You cannot control them. They are their own humans. At some point, they may disappoint you. And actually, it's almost guaranteed they will disappoint you. So what can you control? You can control yourself. And you have God who's always there for you. So again, what's the projections? To blame someone or something outside of yourself for what you're thinking and feeling. What does that look like? What are some sentences that might look like? I can't believe he did that to me. You embarrassed me. You never let me think for myself. Do you see those? See the difference? Or see the similarities? I can't believe he, outside, did that to me. You embarrassed me. You never let me think for myself. Projections. Anytime you start with he, she, they, him, anytime you do that, and you will do it today, I am almost guaranteed, they did. You are taking your power of control and you're handing it over to them. What this does is it creates a victim and a villain. I can't believe he did that to me. Who's the victim? I'm the victim. Who's the villain? They're the villain. As soon as we do that, we put ourselves in a place of disempowerment. We don't have the control anymore. We don't have the control anymore. That doesn't mean, listen, that doesn't mean that if somebody does something atrocious to you, that it's still wrong. What it does mean is that we don't have to stay there. And we get to respond to the way that we want to respond. Does that make sense? So let's look at this. This is going to blow your guys' mind. If you're following along, I want you to write down, I can't believe, and then put whatever you can't believe. I can't believe she just walked away from me. I can't believe that the news says what it says. Whatever your I can't believe, the stuff that just, right, fires you up. When you write it down, then this is what I want you to do. I want you to read it out loud. Right now, read it out loud to yourself. Or if you're walking around, do it. Trust me, this is worth it. After you've read it out loud, tell me how you're feeling. I mean, obviously you can't tell me. I don't have a two-way communication with you, but I want you to name how you're feeling. Is it angry, frustrated, mad? On a scale of 1 to 10, what would it be? How mad would you be? I can't believe she walked away from me. Can't believe she did that. Man, pretty angry, pretty frustrated. Check this out. underneath the sentence you just wrote, do this. Take off the T. Take off the T on can't. Write it out again. Then read it. Just like that, it changed. If you followed along just like that, you're probably laughing to yourself because you're going, holy crap, did that change everything? With just taking out a T. I can believe she walked away from me. I can believe it. Because she did. Huh. What did we do? We took away their power as the villain and we empowered ourselves. We are no longer a victim. Of course, I can believe that the news puts out what it puts out. I can believe that we're going through what we're going through. I can believe it. Immediately, it takes you out of victim mentality. Pretty wild. I told you guys, things were going to get crazy here. You were going to start changing your life. And here it is. Here it is. Not only did we go through negations, but now we're going through projections. Anytime you say he, she, they, you're making yourself a victim. You're putting them in the villain role. Think about it. They embarrassed me. They did? Now here comes the kicker. This is for Casey. He just joined on. I'm gonna throw this one for Casey. I'm just calling him out. No, for particular reason, just because I know that he's on Instagram Live. Sorry for anybody listening to the podcast. I go Instagram Live when it's just me. We're gonna talk soft language. Holy crap! This is the price of admission, and I don't charge anything. But literally, this is $1,000 price of admission right here. Soft language. What is soft language? The use of softening words to create excess uncertainty and avoidance about a particular concept or choice. Yeah, Casey put drama. Yeah, that's right. Drama, feel the drama. Dum, dum, dum. Soft language is the use of softening words to create excess uncertainty and avoidance about a particular concept or choice. Listen up, because you've used it a couple times today, guaranteed. These are soft language words. Guess, like, maybe, probably, I think, perhaps, I feel. Anytime you throw that in there, you're softening the decision for yourself. You're softening it. Well, I should probably be more confident about myself. What do you picture when somebody makes a statement like that? Maybe it's time for a change. What do you picture there? Is there certainty? Are you established? Are you going to make a change? Should you be more confident? Or should you be more confident? We say it all the time. Take out the soft language and see the power behind it. I probably should be more confident about myself. Sounds strong? Doubtful. I can be more confident about myself. Stronger. We took out the probably, soft language. Now how does it sound? Better. How about this? I am confident about myself. When we take out that soft language, we're pulling ourselves away from this feeble, I don't know. I kind of feel like I was wondering if probably you would want to go out on a date with me. Any woman that's listening right now is probably rolling their eyes. Is that what you want to hear from a man? No. Take out the soft language. Be assertive, not only with yourself, but with others. Do this for 30 days. Watch your life change. Just take out the soft talk. Sortas, kindas, maybes, probablys. I guess. Kind of, like. Anything like that. Take it out. Eliminate it. Right? So that was for Casey. I don't believe he's a soft talker, but just because he was watching, I called him out. So going through this once more, guys, what is the victim mentality? Why am I repeating it? Because repetition is the mother of all skills. Shout out to Mark England and Enlifted Coaches. What is the victim mentality? It's an acquired personality trait where a person tends to regard themselves as a victim of the negative actions of others, even in the absence of clear evidence. The victim mentality depends on a habitual thought process and attributions. We talked about direction and destination. Change your direction, your destination is different. We went through negations, projections, and soft language. Eliminating negations. Start looking at what you do want, not what you don't want. Negation words: can't, won't, don't, not, isn't, hasn't, haven't, shouldn't, never. Eliminate those. Next is projections: he, she, they, him, those. As soon as we start pushing and we start pointing at other people, remember, one finger pointed at them, 3 fingers pointed back. I took you through the can't, can work. That is huge. And then soft language. Stop softening your words. I want to end with this. What is abracadabra? Anybody listening on Instagram? What's the definition of abracadabra? Does anybody know on Instagram or even on Facebook if you're watching on Facebook? What most people look at or think of, when they hear the word abracadabra is magic, pulling a bunny out of a hat. But abracadabra, my friends, actually stands for with my words I create. It is from the Aramaic word abracadabra, that is the oldest language, and it stands for with my words I create. Holy crap. If that doesn't sink in for some of you guys, what I say, and I just gave you a bunch of examples, he, she, they, right? Negations: can't, won't, shouldn't, never. Soft words: maybe, probably, should, kinda, sorta. If what we say, our direction, equals our destination, abracadabra, we get there. There's a quote that I saw the other day. Loved it. I am not what happened to me. I am what I chose to become. I am not what happened to me. I am what I chose to become. You have the option, guys, to become exactly what you want. And this isn't just fluffy affirmation talk. This is time to start repping it. You want to get better at fitness? What do you need to do? Run one time? Psych? No. You need to start a running plan. You need to be running all the time. You want to get stronger? We need to start a lifting plan. Hey, you want to lose some weight? Great, let's do it. Just because you have one time a bell pepper with some cucumbers doesn't mean that you're going to change your body composition or your health. Guess what you have to do? Rep it out. But nobody's talking about our words, the things that set spells on us, the things that ruin relationships, the things that keep us in the past, the reason we can't lose weight, the reason we don't feel that we're worthy of the promotion. It's time to start repping these words. And guess what? Abracadabra, when you rep these words, you will get the result. You will get the result. Take out the negations. Take out the soft talk. Stop with the projections. Do that for 30 days. Come back to me and watch, because your life will change. Your life will change. This was fun. I hope you guys had fun through this and sticking in. I went over 20 minutes. I went 30. But this was a big one to go over, you guys. When we pull ourselves out of this victim mentality, you will feel an empowerment that you have not felt in your entire life. And it starts with your words. Change your words, change your lives. It matters. It matters. If you want to upgrade your language, if you are ready to change your life, like I was saying at the beginning of this podcast, I create healthier bodies through happier lives. Well, I utilize language to be able to get to that point. Because if we're not thinking the right way, we're not going to be acting the right way. If we're not acting the right way, we're not going to be living the right way. And if you are interested, you want to start to supercharge the way that you think, unwind the things that have held you back and keep you stuck in the past, then reach out to me. You can direct message me at Joel Cochran _ on Instagram. You can visit my website, www.iconfitness.com, or you can reach out to me at joel@iconfitness.com. Let's go, guys. I appreciate everybody that tuned in on the Facebook page, The Total Body Blueprint, and anybody on Instagram. Thank you so much for tuning in. Next week, I'm going to be diving in. Now, on a different day, but I'm going to be diving into the breath. And this is I have a special guest, and he is the man when it comes to breath. If your breath is stuck in your chest, you guys, you're going to be living in a sympathetic state, and you're going to be thinking at 1,000,000 miles an hour. You're going to be releasing cortisol, adrenaline. It's going to keep you from getting good night's sleep. It's going to keep you from dropping those extra pounds, right, that you want for the better body composition. Your breath truly matters that much. And we're going to do a podcast next week. It's going to be on Friday. Why? Because he's in Australia. So he's going to join us Saturday morning on a Friday night podcast. And then guess what? We're going to dive into a breathing seminar, and it's going to blow your mind. So tune in. That's coming up next week. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, head over to the podcast, subscribe, like it, leave a review. I would appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for listening in and taking your time with me. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next week.